A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood. A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood is based on the true story of a real-life friendship between Fred Rogers and journalist Lloyd Vogel. The film is directed by Mariella Heller and is written by Mika Fitterson Blue and Noah Harpster, which is inspired by Tom Junod's article Can You Say Hero, which was published in November by Esquire magazine in 1998. The film's leads are Tom Hanks as Fred Rogers and Matthew Rhys as Lloyd Vogel. So, prior to watching A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood, I watched Why Won't You Be My Neighbour on Netflix. And it was, well, my first real introduction into Fred Rogers as a person and as a human being and a character, really. And I can't help but say that that documentary was absolutely amazing and left me speechless. This is kind of going to end up being a kind of doubled feature of a movie review and a season review, but anyway. But in the actual documentary on Netflix, it kind of goes into more about his perceptions and ideologies as to how kids should be nurtured and should be taught. And his point of view is kind of the sense of parents kind of put this nice wool blanket around you and say that you're amazing, you're great, the kind of, parents can kind of give you the entitlement that your life will end up being special. But what he does is that he kind of strips that away and he kind of mentally prepares children in the sense of, what are you going to do when things don't go your way? And I think that his point of view and his ideology towards a kid is really helpful. And yeah, the documentary, I would highly recommend you watch that. Goes into the psychosis, about all the different courses he learned about getting children to fundamentally learn better for themselves and to become hopefully better people, better adults in the near future. So I highly recommend that you go and watch Why Won't You Be My Neighbour, the documentary on Netflix. And I'm telling you now, you will be blown away. So more about this film. I kind of feel like the documentary going into the film kind of just goes hand in hand. Because Fred Rogers is such a character and because he kind of carries this kind of harmonious tone with himself, if you go and you watch this film off the first base, you can kind of be like, what have I got myself into? This is a little bit weird. But other than that, besides that, I would say if you are passionate about film in general, watch the documentary, watch the film. I can only tell you that the documentary is Infinity War and the film is Endgame. That's how I would explain it to you, so do both of them. But more about this film. The way that it opens is just phenomenal. The way that the film opens and breaks that fourth wall, absolutely remarkable, incredible stuff, One thing as well that caught me off guard was this film's transitions into the way that it would transition to other scenes, with some absolute spellbinding product design and cinematography. And also the film in moments is actually really abstract. Just moments that I just didn't expect to see in this film. And the film kind of presented to me. It kind of gave me what I didn't know I wanted, but what I needed, And I thought that the way that was done was brilliant. And I think it goes without saying, I think that Tom Hanks is just born to act. I mean, as we know, he was nominated for an Oscar for A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood, but it's like he's surpassed the Oscars or the BAFTAs or the Screen Guild Awards or the Critic Choice Awards. Like, this man, you can't put him in a box. You just can't. He is just absolutely just remarkable. Everything that he done in this film, he completely embodied Fred Rogers. I mean, essentially when the film began, I was like, yeah, that's definitely Tom Hanks, for the first kind of minute. But after that minute had surpassed, I couldn't tell the difference. And you would know that if you'd watched the documentary and watched the film, that just this man is he's from another planet. The acting is just insane. Meisner technique, method acting, anything you want to, Stanislavski technique, or every bloody acting technique you could think of is what Tom Hanks is doing in this film. And just to add to that, I think that Matthew Rhys in this film was amazing as well. He gave a great account. Susan Kelechi Watson, she was great as the wife to Matthew Rhys, and their chemistry was great. What else? What other? And another thing I want to touch upon: this film should have been nominated for Best Picture, and I think that with how things are ending up in the world and people feeling less connected with each other, this is the most poignant, most pivotal film that people must watch. You must watch this film. You are doing yourself such a huge injustice if you do not watch this film. I'm telling you right now. And I think it's just amazing. It blew me away. And just one more thing to add up that I want to just say about A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood is that there is a line in this film that comes at the third act of this film. The film had brought my emotions up like this, like just a steady symphony just going up like this. And then one of the most beautiful lines I ever heard in the film, I won't spoil it for you because this is not a spoiler review, but on the basis of basically Lloyd Vogel turns to Fred Rogers and says, in the third act, and you've watched the film, you know what I'm talking about, he turns to him and he goes, what did you whisper to my dad? And that reply there, that is the reason we go and we watch films. That moment right there. Amazing. I get fucking goosebumps just thinking about it. Honestly. Just one line and I was like, there you go. That's filmmaking. And for that, A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood should have been nominated for a Best Picture. And just to add in one more thing, the film, it's based on a lot of conflicts. And if you'd watched the documentary, you kind of feel this harmonious kind of feel. But when this film kicks off, it feels like a steam train. And that was a pleasant surprise to me. And I really enjoyed that. And it goes without saying that A Beautiful Day in the Neighbourhood is a 10 out of 10 film. If it's still in the cinema, if you got any time on the weekend, or any time in the near future, or if the film comes out on Blu-ray, or the film comes out on DVD, watch it with your family, watch it with a group of friends, and I guarantee you, the percentage of you, at least 80% percentage of you guys, will love the film. So yeah, 10 out of 10 film. And I just want to just very briefly talk about the reason why I'm doing this review is that, I want to try my best to represent myself on this platform. As we know, a couple of days ago, we had the sad passing away of Caroline Flack. And if it was anything, I don't know, obviously, no one could ever know what was going through her head or the feelings that she was having at the time. But if it's anything that I've taken away from, is that in most of her posts, in most of her Instagram posts, more often than not, she was always hugging people, and it just makes you think, how much more people would give to have that feeling again, and I think on the basis of mental health and mental health issues, I think we're in a society where, especially in accustomed to social media and maybe tabloids and things like that, I think what happens is we hold a mirror up to ourselves. We should be holding a mirror up to ourselves and loving ourselves. But what's happening is that we're looking at other people and what they're doing, and we believe that we should be living their lives, instead of taking, instead of loving and appreciating what we can give, we keep thinking that we should be living another person's life. And that's when I believe the self-doubt comes into play, and you second guess yourself. And you should never feel like that, in my opinion. You should never feel like that, never. But it's almost like the thing of, it's like most young people believe that they should have it now and this and that, because society's telling you that you should have it now, you should have a job, you should have this, you should have that. That's a lot of peer pressure, and on the basis of filmmaking, a lot of people forget that Quentin Tarantino, when he made his first ever feature film, he was 30 years old when he done his first feature film. And look at what he's gone on to do from that point onwards. He lived his life, he retained retention, and he pulled it off. So take your time, there's no rush. And I just want to say thank you for all of your comments and all of your love. It's very much appreciated, And in this kind of age where communication isn't really a priority, I feel like we've done ourselves proud with this channel, because you guys make up a percentage of it, and I can only be so grateful and appreciate you guys. I'm going to end it like this. Joaquin Phoenix coined it and he quoted it, but I think I'll say it as well. Run to the rescue with love, and peace will follow. Guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. Peace.